Good morning, guys. Welcome to Words from a Friend podcast. I'm your host, Marty Carey, and this is the podcast that follows my book, Words from a Friend, Daily Guide to a Purposeful Life. It's available at Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. It's a 365-day inner journey. We're so happy to have you along. I really appreciate all the messages that I've been getting from the start for the podcast. And listen, I am grateful to be doing this. Grateful because it's not only helping you, but it helps me. Helps me to stay on purpose. Helps me to grow just by reading my own words that, I wrote so many years ago. And to help expand upon those in maybe some stories that I can share with you that let you know how this light of yours is so needed. And so today we are on episode 29 in the series, 365 days. We're on the 29th day. And today's message is called You Matter. You matter. You matter so much. That ego of yours may be telling you you're just like this little speck of nothing, but you matter so much. And you have a mission. That's why, you have a mission. It's inside of you. It's in your DNA. It's to bring that light of yours to the world in some way. In some way. You might have done it you're doing it in many, many ways already. You know that. Those ways you do that. But I'm saying that if you use that same energy to live the life of your dreams, you can create anything. You can create anything. Anything's possible when you believe in yourself. And you believe in yourself because you understand that you are connected to the ultimate creator, right? You are just channeling that ability to create through you, as you, in this temporary journey that we're on. We get to create as physical beings in the physical world. And you know why we have so much impatience in us is that because on the other side, we're just light. We can create whatever we want just with thought like this, like nothing. But when we come here, it takes time for the things that our dreams to manifest. It's kind of like everything is slowed down from light speed down to physical speed, where we can form this body and create a life with family and friends and a story. We are a story. We are each a story. We could each write a book. All of us could write a book, about how we overcame this and overcame that. That's what this is. That's what this is. My story about how I just climbed out of crap and realized who I was because I just said, you know what? Of course. It makes total sense. The rest is insanity. It is. It's insanity how we treat each other and think about each other and, compete with each other rather than come together and collaborate. Because when good energy is brought together, wow, that's when change happens. I talked about Focus Master yesterday, our business when we started Focus Master, and how it was, we called it the mastermind group. My partner Jimmy and Gene and I. And then when Kyle joined our team, we had 4 people just buzzing off great ideas to each other because we're not competing with each other. We're going for the best idea together, and we can do that in this world. We're overcoming, we're sick of the sickness. We're sick of the ego in ourselves, and we're seeing how that sickness plays out every day on TV, not knowing who we are to each other. It's disgusting, isn't it? It's disgusting how we treat each other, and it can't seem to wake up from that amnesia of who we really are to each other. Well, that's happening. That is happening. You're seeing this is like allowing us all to see how we've allowed ourselves to get by not realizing that we are the light. And the other part was just the stories we created, a lot through darkness, a lot through being in the darkness. A lot of our story can be from when we were in the darkness, but we were supposed to let that part go. Glean the lesson from that, and then implant that as part of our new gold, as wisdom, to move forward and to help people around us with. Right? That's what we're supposed to do. Remember you're the light. Help others to remember they are too. All right. So you matter. The world needs you to change. It needs all of us to change. It needs all of us to grow. What we see happening around us is the microcosm of the world of cluttered minds and sleeping souls. Sleeping souls. We're seeing it more than we ever have. This book I wrote 13 some plus years ago. It's been going on for centuries. We've been sleeping, you know, since the gladiator days, where we love to see people slaughtered in the ring. What is that? What is that? We're growing out of that violence and stuff. It's needless. It's needless when you remember who you are. It's scraps from an old world. An old world. We all want to be out of that world. We want to be in a new world. And we're creating that. And, you know, this is my little part to help remind you that this is who you are and how much you really matter. And that light of yours, turn it on. Turn it on for all of us. When you turn it on, you're turning it on for yourself. But we get the benefit of it like a lighthouse for us to remember. That's how important you are. You have a mission. That's it. Turn your light on and turn that on and do what you do with it. What you do just the way you are. You know, let the darkness and go, what would I do if I just let my light self roll? Yeah, there you go. And you got all the help in the world. You can create darkness. You can create drama. You can create evil. We can do all of that. We have the capacity to be so low that we forget everything about the world that needs help. And we just want to help ourselves and our greedy ego. And we get offended at other people because this and that and the other thing. Man, stay in your power. Stay in your light. That is your gift. The rest of it, it's got to go. It's got to go. All right. When we as individuals have no foundation in the truth of who we are and where we come from, we are left to drift in the world of ego. It's what people call the matrix. It's the hamster wheel of constant chaos and drama. And everything we look at the world and go, what the? That's it. The ego world. It's 3D. We don't know. Our perception isn't high enough to realize who we are to each other. It's still down here. We forgot, right? We're remembering. And when we remember, we come back to our senses and go, what the hell were we thinking? What the hell were we thinking? All right? We feel separate from each other and separate from a God we are taught to fear. God is love. God is unconditional love. And anything that you put and cloud in front of that with dogma and God expects this and he's going to, if you do that. Nope. God gives us free will. You can come down here and you could do evil and be as greedy as you want. Right? You can leave God. That's being out of alignment. That's being way out of balance. That's forgetting who you are. That's the amnesia of just the low self, the small self. Your large self is your higher self. That large self of yours can do anything it sets its mind to. It will be the motivation. It'll be the way forward. It'll be the juice to get there. All of those things come by remembering and receiving that truth within. So you not only believe it, but you embody it. You embody that truth and you walk with it. You walk your life with it. Okay? Road less traveled is getting more crowded because all the lights are turning on. And you know what happens when that happens? We're going to get to a tipping point where the light just takes over and says, no more old world. Nobody's going to put up with it anymore. Nobody's going to agree with that anymore. Our agreement with it is gone. Right? I don't agree with it anymore. Any of it. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. When you wake up to who you are, you go, what is any of this going on? Man, wake up, everybody. Wake up from this bad dream we've been agreeing to for centuries. No, we have another choice. And that's where God wants us. That's why we're being shaken awake. This is shaking us awake. This is like, when something happens in your family and there's a tragedy or a loss, that can shake you awake to what is really most important. It could shake you awake and say, I can't live that old way anymore. I have things to serve. I have responsibility here. I have a lot of responsibility here that I wasn't taking on. I wasn't accountable. I wasn't accountable. You're not accountable to your light. If you're accountable to your ego, you're going to be on a rocky road for the rest of the trip. Stop being accountable to that. It's not the real you. It's just a you that was created from scripts and scraps and good stuff and not so good stuff. And lots of lies were handed to us. So the truth is in here. Always has been. The heaven within. That's the forever you. That's why you matter. That's why your light matters. That's why leaving behind the old stuff of who you may thought you were is so important. Right? Make your matter by shining your light through it as its way. That's the way. All right? When we finally decide to wake up and become conscious of our thought life, we'll begin to intentionally produce better results by thinking better thoughts. Good stuff in produces good stuff out. Start filling your cup with truth. And let the other stuff just be, from lack of attention, it has no power over you. That's why our attention is so important, what we put our attention on, and why they put all this crap on TV all the time to draw our attention, and they just have to keep making it more WTF all the time for us to go, whoa, can you believe this now? And, and we're all talking about it, and then, yeah, we're back down. We're back in the wheel. That's how they keep us in the wheel. We keep arguing, distracted. Distracted from what? Distracted from remembering who the heck we really are. Right? Okay. Now you know the plan. Don't agree with it. Love thy neighbor. Know thyself. Love thy neighbor. Know thyself. Because when you go to the other side and you look back on this stuff, you're going to look back and go, oh my God, look what I let myself get involved in with my ego. I was there to do something else. I was there to shine my light. Right? Shine it as much as you can. I know there's dark times, right? Things that you're worried about. Let God have those. And let him make the best out of it with you, through you, as you, by staying in faith, staying in trust, and saying, I don't know how you're going to get me out of this one, but I trust that somehow that's going to happen. You don't have to know the how. You don't have to figure out all of it. You just do your best. Do your best. Compassion for self. Compassion for those around you. Love those around you. Let them know that that force is there for them. Okay? That's what people need to lean on in their time of need, knowing that that force of love is all around them. You're part of that. That's why your matter matters. That's your gift. Be there for people. Don't be afraid to be there for people because it's uncomfortable. Because when your turn comes, you want the love surrounding you. Okay? Be love now. That's it. Keep that as your reminder, your daily mantra. Because it's always now. It's always now. Right now you're watching me. It's now. Be love now. Think those thoughts. Go into work with those thoughts in your head. That's who I really am. Why would I act different than that? And that's the work. I'm not saying it's easy. No, I'm not saying it's easy. But when you look back from the other side, you're going to go, I did a lot better than I thought I did because I gave that best part of me as my beneficial gift. Right? That's it. It's all that the light expects from you is to spread it. Here first. Fill thy cup. And then just let it overflow. Let that baby roll. Okay? Your humor. You're some funny bastards out there. I know so many of you. Man, that is your light. That is so needed. Laughter is the best medicine. The highest. It's right there. It's the elevator to the top. A laugh in times of struggle or, depression or need when you're low. Sometimes only the closest friends can do that when you're that low and get the laugh out of you, right? Because they know how dark it's been, and they know that you've done that. They've done that for you. And they bring you out of it, and you go, oh, God bless them. Thank you for that. That was a nice big drink of gold. Put that right in your heart and do that for somebody else. All right? Even if your whole life up to this point has been filled with negativity, violence, drama, broken hearts, you can choose to begin again. That's what we're always doing. We get back up again. We say, no, my heart's worth it. My heart is the gold that I need to use if I want gold to enter my life. So I have to give up all the nonsense. all the things that my ego may have wanted me to say or do and act out, and get into situations that my soul would say, what are you thinking about, right? Get on the good road, man. Get on the good road. It's for you. It's for you. Always for you. So just make the decision, right? You allow only, let's see, I'm sorry. I could choose to begin again. A new path forward. Always forward. Always forward. Stop rowing against the stream. Whatever is in front of you, you're going to face it. You're going to face it with the courage of your ancestors in heaven, your people there, the people here around you. That adds to it. That's your, what I call your heaven's net. You know, your network of people that, you know, your ride or die people. You add those people by being one of those people, right? They want to give that back to you, that gift that you gave them. That's why we're givers instead of takers, you know. Reciprocate. Spread that love in the circle. A circle of love, right? That's it. So you allow, now what you want to do is you write this new chapter on purpose instead of letting life write it for you, where you're just being banged around. No, I'm the creator. I want to create with God. So that means I got to get on that road, believing in myself, trusting God. You know, stop being impatient. Know that it's going to take some time to turn that ship around. Be patient with yourself. Be courageous. Be your own hero. Okay? God wants you to be your own hero. He wants you to have that self-reliance, knowing that you're never alone, even when your body's alone. Right? You're not. You have guardian angels. You have spirit guides. You have your family on the other side. You got so much more than you think you do. You got to tune into that. That's tuning into your heart. Tuning out of your ego. Let it die. Let it die. You know, it's not serving you. Not like you think it is. Your love has so much more power. So much more. That's your eternal power. The other one is small, crappy fights and nothing but drama. That's what you're letting go of. That's the reward, is dropping weight. Internal weight. Internal weight that you can hold on to. And it can stop you from so much in life that makes you gain actual weight, right? Because you're not living up to your purpose of, I'm here to shine. And I'm going to shine a little more today for myself. Just for myself to start. You have nothing to give until you fill that cup, right? You know that. You don't feel like you have anything to give. But you matter, right? You got to use that spirit to make your matter come alive. That's the key. Your love is the key. The key to overcoming fear and everything else. Everything we go through. It's the same sauce. You develop this power every day. You decide to give it away, right? When you start going and you start doing new things for yourself and say, finally, I got my body to go in the right direction. I've been seeing in my head. I've written down my new path. Write 10 things you want to do. 5 things, 1 thing. Tomorrow I want to do this 1 thing to start. I don't care if it's 10 minutes outside on a walk or on a treadmill or whatever that is. Get that blood flowing. That'll get the mind going in the right direction. And you go, after you get a week of that in there, a week, 1 week of being consistent, all of a sudden you'll go, I do feel better. Son of a, keep going. You're coming out. You're growing. And then all of a sudden the better thoughts start rolling in, and you start, not, those other ones aren't as powerful because you have a new way forward. New journey to go on. We have many throughout our lives. It's called living a new chapter, right? And getting rid of the garbage from the old one. Keeping the good stuff, the lessons, the love, and letting the cast off the rest. Cast it off. Unnecessary to hold on to. It isn't necessary to hold on to. You, my friend, matter more than you'll ever know. But nevertheless, you must begin to act from a sense of duty to yourself. Right? God wants you to have a duty to yourself. He gave us this great gift of being a physical self for a little time to have fun in a physical world as this solid self, you know? So don't waste it. Don't waste it thinking you don't matter. No, use that juice you got inside there, that sun. Shine that sun. Watch what comes back into your life. It is a magnet for everything good, right? You're not going to be taking it. Don't be taken advantage of. Yeah, you have boundaries, but you know, in your every day, how many people do you come in contact with? Give them a little more. Turn it up a little bit. Okay, you'll have a better day, and so will they. They may not show it, but inside they got a little psst, psst, little spritz of your love, and that goes farther than you think. Goes a lot farther than you think. You're bettering the world, and that's why you matter. Okay, this duty requires two things of you. First, love yourself 110%. You are a spiritual traveler with amazing inner powers. That's all you act from. Believe in your abilities and talents and exercise them every day. You exercise those little talents that you know you have, and they expand. Just like your love expands, what you put your attention on expands. So if you're putting your attention on garbage, that's going to expand garbage in your life, right? What do you want your life to feel like? That's where you start. What do I want my life to feel like? I want to feel good inside, and I want that smile on my face to be real. I want it to be real. I don't mind putting it on because I have to here and there to just so people don't ask me about this or that. You know, that happens sometimes. Okay, great. But don't you want the real smile in here too? You want the real smile in here. Okay, so that's the flow of God's energy. That's the flow of our forever self. We got to keep it flowing, which means it's constant weeding and seeding. Letting go of the crap in the moment too. Somebody upsets you, see how quick you can let that go instead of going, I'm going to dwell on this for the next 10 hours. That's what your ego wants for you. Your ego needs an enemy to survive. Did you know that? Your ego needs an enemy to blame. Your ego needs somebody so that if you feel like a victim, you can point outwards and say, it's them. It's not me. You have command of your ship. You can stay in your power, right? It's a journey away from the old self. It takes time. It's the worthy journey. Okay. Let's see. That's all you act from. Believe in your abilities and talents and exercise them every day. Perfect them and sell your creativity in all you do. The world is waiting, right? Sell your creativity. You know, I mean, listen, I started my entrepreneurial life. My first major venture was a gift product called Lucky Lester. It was based off of the Lucky Rabbit's Foot idea. But this was for those folks who needed the luck of the whole rabbit. You know, so I had this stuffed animal made. It hung from its back foot with the keychain from the original rabbit's foot idea. And then I had a buddy of mine in Lansingburg draw the board for me behind that sat on. And Lucky in Love, it had a love scene in it. Lucky if you're in the hospital, getting the bill of A-OK Health. And then a couple other ones in there. You'll win in the lottery if you have this Lucky Lester. And it had a suction cup on it. It was the time when Garfield was on the windows everywhere in the 80s. And so I had the suction cup put on it too. And then I joined up with my partner, Gene Coletti's brother, Donnie Coletti. I've been partners with 3 Colettis in 3 different businesses. And because they're such creative bastards. And so Lucky Lester took me on a whole first journey. I'd never been to New York City. I went down on the train with Donnie, and he had his own invention called the Palm Ball, and it was a tossing game. So we joined together, and we had a company called Troy Toys. And we went to all the big gift shows and trade shows, you know, and we were in the malls at Christmas time with Lucky Lester and the Palm Ball, tossing it around with Donnie's brother Rudy. We had more fun than pirates. It was just constant, you know, laughter fest. We wanted to sell a lot, but boy, the journey we were on, I have such great memories, like beautiful memories. And the experience said, this entrepreneurial thing is so worth it. You know, I didn't make $1 million from it or anything like that, but that was my That was my rocket ship to stay. Let's keep doing stuff like this, out of the box stuff, because, the normal world, and I went into the insurance business, was just pretty dry. So I needed these things, and that Lucky Lester thing was great. And we had a journey and a half with that. So if you have one of those out there, hold on to it. It's still lucky. But, and that took me on to everything else after that. It's because I kept saying yes. And because I said yes, I was scared shitless many times. But we still kept saying yes. It's like, because when you get there and you're in the excitement of a trade show and these people are coming up and saying, I love that product. I want it in my stores. And that happened for us. I think we sold like 3,000 of them to CVS, and we were on top of the world. We thought this was it. We thought we had the next pet rock. But you know what? And I can look back upon it and say, well, yeah, but I didn't make $1 million. No, but I got $1 billion worth of experience and fun and physical, fun life that I could write a book about, just those journeys. The fun and the jokes. We still tell the same jokes from those journeys. That's richness. That's rich. That's wealth. That's the real wealth. That's your true wealth. And you have it already. You know you do. Look inside. Be grateful. Think in gratitude. And all of a sudden that wealth will just be right there. You'll feel it. You're the wealthiest man or woman in Babylon when you realize who you are and the things that you can do and you can still do. Best stuff of life. So consistently, make sure that's your duty to yourself. Starve your ego and give this world what it really needs. The gift of your light, your soul, your spirit, your true self. Break out of the limiting cocoon of the ego and fly. Fly with your new wings. Fly into stuff that's fun and that you get excited about waking up with every morning. I'm excited to do this now. This is a new chapter for me. It's a new chapter from an old book. So I'm just enhancing what I've done in the past and making it something new. I'm adding light to something that added so much light to my life. I'm going to add that more and give that this whole year. And I hope that lights you up and is a catalyst to further awakening, further living of your life, and giving of that beautiful life force that you have. I know you guys. You're out there. You're awesome. You're awesome. I see all of you every day, all over the place, and we run into each other. That's the time. That's when you're in the moment. That's when you're in the scene of your movie, of your story. Be present in the scenes of the movie that is you, that is your life. Be present and give those better lines that you would have given. Just the old, yeah, I'm just going to have dinner. Hey, honey, how's your day? Come alive. Give something more than that to your relationship. There is more to give, especially when you realize that your light is the project. Draw it out of your partner. Give it to your spouse. Pour into their cup. They'll pour back into your cup. If it's a good relationship, they'll be pouring back into your cup. And if they don't, shake them up. Buy them my book. And just let them know that they're more than they think. And you want a life that you're growing together, not apart. You want a life where you're growing more in love all the time. That sounds corny. And you don't know if you can do it because you're both in some kind of old paradigm. You can change that too. Right? Pour into each other's life your best stuff. And we can hurt the closest around us the most because we take them for granted. You're not going to take them for granted forever. Remember that. Now is the time. You're on the stage. You're on the stage of your life. When you go to the other side, you get to see the movie. You get to see it. Good, bad, or indifferent. It's not going to be like you're being judged and this whole thing. But you came here to create a great life. And if you've been off track from that because you didn't know, that's fine. Didn't know. Now you know. Embody your light. Take that forward. Ask the light for that guidance. And be willing. Say yes, even if it looks like work. Because that could be your dream, saying, all you got to do is this, open that door, start the first one. I started my first podcast on January 1st. And now I'm loving every minute of it because it feels good to give what helped me get out of a very dark place, right? Feels good to give that, pass that on. Hope if what I say doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. But I hope some of it does. And the rest will most likely just come along because you go, that is better. I do feel better, right? Feel better about myself. Feel a lot better about myself. That's where it starts. That's where your cup starts going. Oh, God's filling my cup because I'm listening. I'm staying quiet. I'm not listening to all this noise in the background anymore. Listening for that voice inside. Taking time to do that for myself. I'm treating myself well. And that way, I'll treat others well. Okay? Fill yourself up with being treated well by yourself. Give that to everybody in your closest. That's your starting point. It's your main duty right there, your responsibility. God, family, work. In that order. Right? God into yourself. That self pours into your family. Lets them remember who they are. Give them that love, that light. Guide them the best you can because you can't control them at certain points. You know that. So you're a guide, just like God is a guide. Just like Jesus guides us. Sends us those good ideas to act upon. You're going to have a lot of bad ideas to act upon in that mind. There's a lot of them, a lot more than you would think are good, but no. It's not even close once you remember. It's like, thank God. Thank God. Okay, the more positive energy we all choose to give, the better the world will become. Darkness cannot survive in the light, right? Only love can drive out hate. Only love, the light, can drive out darkness, and it drives it out easily. Easily. Like you turn the light switch on in a dark room. Where'd the darkness go? Where'd it go? It fled because the light came in. You are that. You can light up a room when you come in with your light. It's felt. Or you can dim a room by coming in with your ego. All right? You're like a dimmer switch yourself. What do you want to be? What do you want to be? What do you want to feel for the rest of your life? Dim? Or do you want to feel bright? These are the choices we make every day in the present moment. Okay? So the more positive energy we all choose to give, the better the world will become. Darkness cannot survive in the light. You must choose to be your light self as much as possible. That's remembering every day. That's just remembering to remember. It's constant. That's the practice. That is the practice. Oh yeah, right. I forgot. I'm the light. I was about to act like an asshole here. I was about to act like but then I caught myself. Which self did you catch? You caught your ego about to do something you were going to regret, right? Give that old garbage. You hauled it in and you said, no, I'm going to let that go. I'm going to give this instead. It's replacing an old self with your new light. Sorry, I got paint on my hands. I was painting today with my buddy Gino, and we've got a nice surprise for you guys coming up soon. It's going to be great, and I think you guys are going to love it. From the old Daily Gang. We're having fun just getting ready to do it. Okay, so the CTA today is begin the shift. The shift is you saying yes to the light, saying yes to God, saying yes to this is the higher way, the best way I could ever live my life. Okay, I'm ready because I've been living like low and defeated. Low and defeated. And I know God always has a better plan for us. Because there was a plan before you came here. Plan to get to your best self. And then to live from that. And to have a great life. A beautiful life. And give that beauty to everybody around you. Because that's the highest thing that you can do. Think about the people that are in your life that are gone. And the light that they brought you. That was their gift to you. That's our gift to everybody else. Don't leave that out. That is what you need to. That's what you need to walk with, as and in every day. Okay? Begin the shift. Now you know the best thing you can possibly do for this world, mankind, womankind, every kind, and this planet, is to personally decide to rise yourself out of the bull crap. We rise out of it. It's a rising in our energy, a rising in our energetic self, the body, the spirit within. Helps us to do that. That's who we really are. So that just comes out of us like light from a lighthouse when you remember more, right? I'm not saying you got to go out there and be Mr. Super Light or Mrs. Super Light. That's just how you're going to feel naturally after you decide that the person in the mirror matters. Okay? You matter. Much love, my friends. We shall see you tomorrow.